Hey y'all, it's Arwen. I'm the professional joy seeker, and as you know, I am attempting to be the Barbara Walters of YouTube, which means I'm going to interview anybody who agrees to and then puts up with me rescheduling them. And the young lady that we're going to talk to today has put up with me rescheduling her, I don't know, 5 times now. Um, I've been sick, she's been sick, mostly it's been me, but she's an amazing witch. Many of you know her. She's got the cutest little accent. I just love it. And she is, of course, Joe Morris of Starry-Eyed Spells or Supplies.
Supplies. Spells is good though. Maybe we should take that for future reference.
Welcome so much. Thank you so much, and welcome
Thank you for having
to
me.
my cough-induced channel. I've known Joe, I don't think quite a year yet, huh?
It might be a year. It might be.
Yeah. I
Around
know.
there.
Yeah, Ember introduced me to your channel and your stuff, and um, her product, y'all, is amazing. I have to confess, I don't see where it is. It's over there. I bought a Hecate, the votive, and I haven't burned it because I think it's so pretty. So, bad me. Uh, I have some questions for you. And this is the 15 questions titled 13 Things I Want to Know About You because I can't count.
Mhm.
What's the first thing you can remember about witches just in general, like a cartoon witch, a book witch, just witch?
Some of my earliest memories are pretending to be Maleficent from Disney's Sleeping Beauty. So I can't remember how old I was when I first saw it, but I do remember walking around my Nana's backyard with a washing line pole, because she had one of those old-fashioned washing lines where you got a pole and you stick the washing line up, and then like tapping it on the ground and then doing this over the top of it and things like that. So that's possibly one of the earliest memories I have of something witchy, and I thought she was fascinating as a character and really evocative. And she had a raven, so maybe that's like shades of things to come, maybe. But I thought she was fascinating as witches go. But I've always loved witches and witch archetype all the way through. But I think that's the earliest. I think so.
Well, cool. Now, what about the Maleficent movie? Yay or nay on that with Angelina Jolie?
I enjoy it. I don't think it's as strong as the Disney villain from the original. I think there was a little bit of predictability in it. I liked, I'm going to try and not spoil it for anyone who's not seen it. I like the resolution to how Sleeping Beauty wakes up. I thought that was really well done. And I liked her reasons for being against Philip, the king. I thought that was very well done as well. But I kind of wish that she'd stayed the shapeshifter rather than her power be to shapeshift other people. But other than that, yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I love the theme song. It's one of my favorite songs anyway, and I love the rendition that they did there. Okay, so what brought you to the craft?
I think I've always been here. As long as I can remember, I've believed in magic, and I remember seeing spirits very, very young, and having a very strong bond with the elements, like feeling very, very strongly about earth, air, fire, and water. When you're first going into the school system, and they're like, "This is the periodic table," and this is there, and I'm sat there like, "Earth, air, fire, and water," and they're like, "No." And all my poetry had to rhyme and things like that, and it's just as far back as I can remember. And I had a moment of coming home again when I started to look into the book side of it and then read about what other people were doing. I think it's always been with me though, but I definitely had that moment of, oh, okay, there's a name for it and a system for it, and you can read about different other people's experiences with it. Okay, cool. So I definitely had one of those moments, which is 2000-ish.
Very cool. Now, what's the first book you read? Can you remember, like the first witchy book?
I can't tell you what the very, very, very first one was, but I remember that Dorothy Morris and the Craft was one of the first defining books that I read, and I was like, oh, all of this. I've still got it back here somewhere. But that was definitely one of those big moments, and oh yes, and I probably got like half of it underlined with pencil and things like that.
You know, she's a good friend of mine, right?
You can let her know. It's like one of my first books. It was awesome. It was amazing.
She's one of the nicest people, and also she can be a wicked bitch, which I just adore about her. But I've been friends with Dorothy for, wow. We were on a bulletin board system. This was before we had like the real internet, and it was called the Pagan Occult Distribution System or Discussion System. Distribution System, I think, but pods. And Cal and I, Dorothy and I we never met in person. It was a few years before we finally ran into each other at a festival that was in Kansas. But she is a wonderful human being and so real, so very, very real. So I'm really pleased that's one of your first books. Do you have Everyday Magic by her?
I think that's one of the ones I have on the iPad now, because I've kind of got some that are in my iPad, and then some that I've still got the physical copies of.
Yeah. If you read the foreword, there's an acknowledgement, and she mentions me because one of the rituals in there is one she asked me to use, and she changed it up. It's her pet ritual for when a pet dies. But so yeah, that was like my very first claim to any kind of fame. I was like, "Ooh, I'm in a book! So, Joe, what's your favorite form of divination?
I really love the Ogham, which is a druidic well, it's the druidic alphabet, and it gets used in a divinational system now. And for anyone who doesn't know, they tend to be sticks like runes that have tree correspondences on them. So you'll have silver birch and rowan and hawthorn and so on. And my set from Spirit of Old, which is if you have a birthday coming up when you want to invest in a set, they do the most gorgeous sets. You can get cheaper ones, but theirs are just and they correspond to the tree. So the silver birch is a silver birch twig, and so on and so forth. I also really love oracle cards, and I completely forgot, but I was going to have a set of oracle cards here so I could be like, oracle cards, and I've left them in the bedroom. And it's the Night Flower Oracle that I've just recently got is the one that I was looking at. And
by Misha Huntington? Misha Hunting from Seattle?
It might be.
Well, no, her last name isn't. She's married now, but Misha, Portland or Seattle, it might be Portland. But they're black with white.
Yes. Yeah, they're completely black in the background with the flowers. Yeah.
I have her American Obscura Tarot, which blew my mind. It's one of the most interesting decks, and for me, because it goes into American history and hits stuff like the Death card. It shows a woman standing outside a factory, and it's related to a story about some women who died in a sewing factory fire. It's really, really, you get this minutia, and I love trivia and I love history. So, but I've been looking at that deck, and I told her I was going to order it, and I have not yet because I really want it.
It's kind of a funny story. They were all out because she'd done them on Kickstarter, and I kind of like saddled up to her on Etsy like, hi, this is the most, this deck is everything I want in an oracle deck. Please make some more. Please make some more available. And she did, and I was like, I've got one.
You know, I should have her on here to chat with her about her work, because she's really a very amazing, very interesting woman. She's got tattoos everywhere. She's really cool. So we should do that. Maybe I'll put things you want to ask Misha.
Yeah.
So, have you ever done a working that backfired on you?
I'm trying to think.
Or maybe gave a result other than expected?
There is one that backfired that I can think of. Okay, so at one point in my life, I was looking for romantic love, and I I basically asked for someone who was like the name of this person who was semi-famous, and it was kind of outside of the box for me, and I kind of used that name, and I ended up with someone with the same surname, and it was a mess. It was a mess. It was awful, and like one of the worst romantic entanglements of my life. And I was like, right, in future, let's not do that ever, because the universe was like, oh, you said this name, there's someone with that name, there you go.
Right? Okay, check here. And you're like, no. Now, this is a question I ask people, and it may not make sense. Red sauce or green sauce?
That doesn't make any sense to me. Is this an American thing?
It's a Southwest thing, because here we have, when you order your enchiladas, you get them with red sauce or with green sauce. And people, there can be like, you can get into family fights over red sauce, green sauce. So
what's the difference?
Well, let me think. Well, it's really, green sauce to me is a little tangier. Red sauce isn't. But let's see about one for you. You're British, so bangers and mash or bubble and squeak?
Bubble and squeak.
Oh, good choice. I love cabbage.
I don't like how mashed potato feels. So
Well, I'll have to get you to send me a recipe for a good bubble and squeak, because I love the sound of it, of course. Y'all have the best names for food ever. Spotted dick, anybody? Please.
Everyone's going to be like, pardon me. It's a dessert, honest.
Yeah, it can be.
On a good day.
Yeah, it depends on my mood. In your belief system, is there an afterlife, and what does that look like for you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big believer in reincarnation. It makes a lot more sense to me, in terms of that. I feel like in the process of all the things a soul has to learn, it's more likely that we need more than one lifetime, because there's so much to know and so much to do that we can't possibly experience all in one lifetime. Yes. So I'm a big believer in that. But I do a lot of underworld and rebirth sort of meditations with regards to Morrigan and how that looks. So I think it's largely about perception. I think what you expect it to look like is likely what it will look like. Obviously, I don't know what the afterlife would look like, but when I'm going into meditation and things, I'll either take kind of like a shadowy, and it's not shadowy in a negative way, but it's kind of like a movement. So things that are moving and changing and shifting. So for me, it wouldn't be unusual to be in an underworld afterlife meditation space, and for the world to be shifting and changing and adapting around you, as you know, you're probing certain questions, or you're connecting to certain energies, or you're looking for certain things, and maybe the world would then shift around you. For me, it often takes on nature form, like a dark forest form, for example, would be the most frequent, because that's where I connect most within my spiritual space, I suspect. So it kind of reflects that within my meditations.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Deserted island time. You have time to grab 5 witchy tools. 5. What are they?
Okay. Well, definitely the Ogham, as we've already mentioned those. Oh, 5 witchy tools. I'm going to say some form of candle, because I'm always doing some form of candle work, always, whether I'm making them or lighting them or casting over them. I love them. Something to be able to listen to music on would be absolutely paramount. So it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it plays the music that helps me to meditate or get in the mood, elevate the energies, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's 3. Pen and paper. Is that 1 or 2?
That's 1. That's 1. I'm a writer. That pen and paper is 1.
So I love the written. I love the spoken word, but I love the written word as well. I think there's a whole lot of power and sort of, if you're on a desert island, you want to write down what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, and keeping a record of it for future reference. I don't know what the last one would be though. Let's say I'd take some silver birch with me. I'm going to assume there wouldn't be any on the island. I love silver birch. I love working with it. It's a beautiful goddess energy.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very, very good. I'm just thinking in the back of my head if I can rip off any of that. What herbs are must-haves in your kitchen and your altar room? Let's just limit it to 3. What are 3 double duty herbs for you?
Rosemary. I think rosemary has a gorgeous cleansing, but almost like temple cleansing energy to it, and it tastes gorgeous. So definitely rosemary. Mustard seeds. Ooh. We have a lot of curry in this house, and mustard seeds is really potent stuff for like banishing, basically. Just hot foot on out of here type magic. And then I'm going to say honey. On the flip side, as honey is, I don't like honey necessarily on its own, but I love it in things, in cooking, and then in spell work it's just wonderful for like attraction magic. And it was a fairly new one for me because you tend to see it more in your hoodoo traditions and that style magic, but it works so well in attraction magic and attraction work. So
beautiful. I love that. Now, kind of going off book here, you have a shop.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that doesn't know that, hello, she's got a shop. I've ordered stuff. You always get quality stuff. What's going on with the shop right now? You got anything new coming up that we need to be aware of?
The Beltane items are slowly trickling out into the store. I'm slowly releasing them because we're obviously on the equinox today. Happy equinox to everybody. Spring if you're on this side, and if you're on the other side, then it's autumnal. But happy equinox to everybody. But the Beltane items this year are Balefires of Avalon. And they started life as a request, but I love them so much that every single one of them is coming to the store. The spell oils in particular are my personal favorite, although the smudge is pretty good too. But the spell oils are a black. There are 2. There's a fire god and a fire goddess, and they have the distinctive scents. And then the black oil, which is all naturally dyed, there's no artificial ick in there. And then they have a shimmy glitter. So you shake them up and then suddenly they twinkle, and the god looks like a night sky. It looks like someone actually messaged me on Instagram and was like, how have you captured the stars in the sky in a bottle? How have you done this? And I was like,
wow,
witchcraft.
I'm a witch.
And then the goddess one is a nice red pink blend against the black. So yeah, they've been really, really nice. So those are new things for the store.
They sound beautiful. Now on Instagram, have you done any like short videos so people can see them swirling? Ooh, 'cause I haven't been on Instagram today. I've actually been upright and trying to get work done. Now, powdered or rolled incense?
See, I'm a big fan of loose incense. Just to be a pain in the backside.
No, that's what I call powdered.
Oh, okay.
Powdered. Yeah.
So just loose, but not powdered down.
Yeah, no, I just use powdered as a not rolled.
I prefer loose incense for the most. There are some sticks which are absolutely gorgeous. There's a Nag Champa Midnight is one of my absolute favorite stick incenses. It's gorgeous. But generally speaking, I prefer the loose incense, either in my oil burner or on a charcoal disc. So
very cool. How do you intentionally honor or care for your deity?
However she does the world asks for. The goddess Morrigan is my deity for anybody who is unaware, and she's very demanding. And regular practice involves things like she has whiskey, Irish whiskey, because God forbid you bring something else that's not Irish whiskey. I found this out the hard way when the whole bottle went everywhere. I was like, didn't like that then. Okay, I'll go get some Irish. I thought it was better than nothing because they didn't have any Irish at the store, but okay. And then there's incense on a daily basis, and singing is a daily thing. I was singing, how would you, it's kind of like a dedication or a devotion if you like, but just singing, just humming, just elevation with voice, and speaking and offering words. I think it's a big part of my practice is vocal. So offering the words, offering the speech, offering the songs. I like that from an oracular Celtic perspective as well, because they passed down a lot of their myths through the oracular. They didn't believe in writing it down. So I think it ties back to that history in a nice way to honor the goddess in oracular form.
Nice. Okay. What do you do for your own self-care? How do you honor Goddess Joey?
I sit on a lily pad and say, bring me the caramel. No.
Let me know how that works for you.
No, well. I enjoy music. I think that music can be incredibly mood altering in terms of sometimes when you're really angry and you just need to scream it out to a good song, or sometimes if you're upset and you just need to cry it out to a good song and just feel, because it gets to you, even if you're trying to like, no, I don't want anything to do with my emotions. And then in here, that might be a Virgo thing, but in here, you should be dealing with your emotions. So you're like, right, I need a little tick over, a little door opener, and then music can do that. And it absolutely helps with the process of self-care. Absolutely.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Name something that always brings you joy.
My sister.
Ah.
She probably won't watch this, but my sister Sarah has stuck with me, and we've been stuck by each other through thick and thin, and she knows how to make me giggle, and we have in jokes that make no sense to anybody else. Everybody else will be like, what? And we've had people be like, this makes no sense, and we're like, it made sense because it referenced something that we both knew 10 years ago, and we're still referencing it now. So absolutely.
That's awesome. I love that answer. What's your favorite meal?
Chicken and black bean sauce with rice. I don't know if it's different in America, because I've said this to an American before and they're like, black beans is like a Mexican thing here.
Oh no, I know what black bean sauce is. Absolutely.
Okay, good. I've loved that for about 20 years. And it's still my favorite thing in the whole world.
Do you make it, or do you do takeout?
Both, but I do like to make it because I like heavy on the garlic when I'm making it, and it's just like all the garlic, more. One clove, no, one bulb, go on. Like,
right? There can never be too much garlic,
never.
People.
Never.
If you don't smell me coming, I have not enjoyed the garlic. So what we want now is a ghost story. Give me your best spooky, not spooky, funny, whatever, but a ghost story. If you've had one, I mean, have you ever had an experience with a ghost?
Do you want scary or do you want funny?
You tell.
Well, let's go with funny then. Keep it upbeat. There's actually, I believe there is a ghost in this house, and I believe it's a female ghost. Pretty sure, because on occasion, it's always to do with like makeup or like self-care. So I was sat right here where I am right now, and I had a lipstick, and I just started putting a lipstick on, and another lipstick rolled down the desk and stopped dead in front of me. And this desk is not like, the things don't normally roll across it. So
she said, I don't like that color. Try this one.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you, but I've already half done. And then the other week, I was in the bathroom and the toothbrush wiggled, like reminding me to brush my teeth. And I was like, I'll remember, thank you. And I was like, it's strange. And it's just that because I've seen and felt and experienced so many spirit activities over the years, I'm just to the point now where I'm just like, as long as you're not harming anybody, we're all good. I'll accept it. I'll acknowledge it if we're fine. As long as you're not causing any problems, you can help me with my makeup routine. It's cool.
Right? Just be nice. Well, when you're talking about her, I get a sense of a woman who is along the lines of, and this is a British show that I used to love called Are You Being Served?
Mm.
And I don't remember the woman's name, but she had either the cat or the dog. She was one of the clerk ladies.
I know who you mean, and the name's completely gone out my head, and my sister will shout at me because we used to watch it all the time.
It was a
It's
brilliant.
not like a Havisham, is it? It's not Havisham, is it?
No, that was the guy. Haversham, I'm almost positive, was a little dapperly dressed. I'm not going to tell you I'm gay, but I am. Guy. I think that was Haversham.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, and I can see her clearly.
I can too, with the cat and the
the
purple hair. Yeah.
But that's who I get an image of with your spirit in your house, is somebody in that age category.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the last question. Big time. What is your best advice and best short advice to someone who's just starting out on their own magical path?
Find something that you're passionate about and stick to it. Keep that passion alive no matter what. In a side note, I think we all at some point we get to the point where somebody tries to burst our bubble, but just hang on to that passion that brought you in, that excitement, that thirst for knowledge, and just grab it and keep it. Absolutely.
I love that you mentioned the thirst for knowledge. I don't know that I've ever met a fellow pagan, witch, magician, whatever, who didn't have not just a thirst, but a hunger for information.
Like wanting to know what's beyond the veil. How does this work? What is this? I feel like we're in blooming Nightmare Before Christmas. What's this? But, yeah.
And then Joey went off the rails.
And Arwen pressed the end button.
Oh, fuck. I'm trying not to curse so much. Damn it. So thank you so much for joining me. Y'all, if you have somebody you want me to interview, please let me know. I'll ask anybody. I absolutely will. When I first, this is Joey's second interview with me. And the first time, I really thought she'd tell me no. She was like this great big name on YouTube. And she was like, Joey. But she said yes. So she's kind of the problem. That's why I keep asking people. But I've really enjoyed getting to know you. We also chat a little bit on Facebook, back chat. We talk about y'all. Right now, everybody's going, truly, we talk about things that are really interesting. Like, I have a migraine.
That's my fault, yeah.
Or me, I'm sleeping again. That's been Arwen for the past week. Are you awake? Not really. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you'll show off the flowers oracle. I don't know if you have. I'm embarrassed if you have, and I haven't looked at it.
I have a video where I go through the whole thing, and later today I will post, possibly on the blog, on my blog, the cards that I pulled for the equinox, because I use those today.
Awesome.
So I might share those on the blog and be like, because I think they're topical. There's messages of letting go, but finding hope in those for today's, and I thought that was beautiful. So
wonderful. And I'd love to invite you to join us in the Tarot blog hop. I know that it's called Tarot, but it's in the Oracle system. We just have one question, and then everybody blogs on the same question. We all post the same day, the same time. So it's kind of like, I tell people it's like Brigadoon. It just pops up. Um, if you're familiar with Brigadoon, but hopefully you are. But I'd love for you to join us. Contact me off list, and I'll chat with you a little bit about that if you're interested. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Guys, thank you so much. And Joey, I always tell people seek joy, y'all. What do you tell people when you're signing off?
Many blessings, usually.
All right then. Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye bye.